This episode of On the Line is presented to you by Living.fit, your one stop for all your fitness needs. Make sure you go download the app Living.fit today. Now here's the show. Welcome to On the Line. Today we got a very, very special guest. He's one of my favorite all-time Colts players. It is current Miami Dolphin quarterback, Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby, my man, what's up?
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Love having you. So first thing I'd ask is, why'd you choose number 14 on the Dolphins? Like, why'd you take Fitzpatrick's number?
Everybody says that. It was 7 was taken. Our kicker here has number 7. He had just got paid. And I literally was just talking about it with him. I was like, man, I would have gave you a couple dollars for that number. And he turned it down. So yeah, I had to get 14.
What was the number? What were you willing to go up to?
Well, the joke is I would have gave him 200,000, which I would have never gave him. I would hope he would have talked me down because I would have never paid that much for a number.
You should have offered him like $777.
No, he wasn't giving it up. I told him just to name his price, and he didn't give me a price. So
wow,
so, yeah.
No respect. Well, come on.
Good.
Yeah, it's all good.
I figure he just got paid. He played well, and so it was rightfully so.
Rightfully so. Hey, sometimes new changes and need a new number. What was your number in New England? Was it 7 too?
Yeah, it was 7. Yeah,
it was 7. It was 7
so far. Yeah.
And then you were 12 though, and obviously weren't going to be 12 in New England, but
yeah, exactly. And I wasn't going to be 12 in Indy either. So
oh yeah, no.
I've been fucked ever since.
What made you choose 7 then?
Michael Vick was one of my favorite players growing up. So therefore, like when I couldn't get 12, and then I wanted another number that was taken in New England, and they gave me 7. I was just like, all right, I can just do that because of Vick, and then just kind of kept it alive.
So what made you pick 14?
Times 2.
Okay, that works.
And I can't. and I got tired of the single digit numbers. Made me look a little fat. Only number I could have saw myself in was 7. So they had originally gave me 5, and the bottom of the 5 is just a little too wide.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
I want you to just do the 2-digit number.
As a former big boy, I completely understand because
exactly.
When I was in grade school, they made me pick number 83. I don't know why that was a lineman number. Oh, awful number because I looked so fat, and I was already pretty big, but I was like a center number 83. It made no sense. I don't know why that jersey was so big. Yeah.
I needed the skinny numbers.
Yeah, I gotta stick exactly. You gotta stick together. Like a number 1, like on anyone. If you're not skinny, one looks
or not Cam Newton. It doesn't look right.
Yeah, it doesn't really look very good. But I do have a question though. So you've been in New England. You've been in Indy, and then you choose Florida. Was the decision to go down play for the Dolphins? Was it because of the weather? Because I mean, I'm a Midwesterner, so I get it. I
actually like the different seasons. So it wasn't that. It was the opportunity. Obviously being close to home, but the weather had no part into it because, like I said, I like the seasons. I like the cold. I like all of that. I like fall. So I wish we had that here. I kind of miss it right now. It's hard for me to say that, but I miss getting ready for the snow to get here.
That's rare. I've never heard anyone from you rarely hear that. But I mean, fall's pretty cool. Autumn's pretty cool. Changing.
Fall's nice.
Yeah. Winter sucks though. Come on, you can't tell me.
Yeah, it definitely sucks. I just like to be around it for a little bit and then get out of it. Here, I don't. It's summer all the time. I mean, it's the nicest weather we're gonna have right now. Yeah.
I would say snow's cool the first day, and then after that, you're like, dude, just go away. I don't want
Yeah, for sure. My dog likes to play in it, so if he wants to go outside, then that would have been cool.
Yeah, that's true. Dogs love snow. Yeah. And so I do have a serious question I ask about Miami, and this is we'll get on to more of it later, but you've experienced almost everything you could as an NFL quarterback in your very short career. Do you think that kind of helps when you talk to Tua and do you tell Tua kind of can you guys relate based on kind of everything you've been through and kind of the stuff that he's been through his first couple of years?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I try not to push my story on people rather than because I like people to just feel like their story is their story. But I just kind of give them some relatable things that I've had. Like, hey man, I've been faced with some of the same things. This is what I was faced with. So kind of just giving him hey, what I mean? I always say you just gotta. It's the light at the end of the tunnel, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. So I kind of share stories that I've heard from other players. I've been around a couple good quarterbacks that have had similar paths at some point in their career. and have had words of wisdom to pass down to me. So I kind of try to pass that along as well.
Is it weird being a veteran quarterback now as a 28-year-old?
Yeah.
Like, dude, that's gotta be weird.
I'm 28 and I feel like, damn, like I can't imagine how it was when Tom was. I think I met Tom when he was 36, and then Philip when he was 38. I'm like, damn, man, I was annoying as hell.
And like, oh God, what was I saying? Have you guys? So, all right, this is a really good question. Is Tua aware of the Tua Anonymous? Like, they're anonymous for Tua. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No idea.
There's like, you know who Anonymous is? Like the online group that like exposes or whatever, all that.
Oh yeah. I've heard of. They like exposed about something recently, like not too long ago about us being hacked or followed or something like that, right? Like
exactly. And apparently, there's now. I just discovered this like 2 hours ago. There's like a Tua Anonymous, and they're all for Tua. I don't know. I don't know if you guys ever see that kind of stuff in the locker room and just talk about it, but like, man, it's crazy how some NFL fans.
It might be him, to be honest with you. It might be him.
Is Tua a social media warrior, low key?
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm like, he's 23, I'm 28, and it's just like I don't know what he's into, like to that extent. I mean, I see him on like Instagram and stuff sometimes, but I don't know if he has a burner account yet. I gotta ask him if he has a burner account yet.
Do you have a burner?
No, I do not. I don't care. I'll just say it from my account if I felt like I needed to say something.
That's true. See, I feel like having a burner though, so like low key, I feel like that would be something nice to have though.
I know I got a couple friends that have them, and then like I follow the burner accounts, and I'm like, damn,
they gotta be funny as hell.
It's so funny. It's like I wish I could say that right now, but I can't. But I've thought about it, but I doubt I can do it. I'm not really into that stuff.
I do gotta ask about the Twitter because like you went viral in 2019 with all these tweets, and then you just stopped. Like, did someone tell you to stop, or like what? Or are you just I don't want to do it anymore?
Well, the season started, so then I just like forgot about it. I was in this group with a couple of my friends. We like have like a Snapchat like message group where we just like call each other about random fun facts or like stupid stuff like what I was tweeting. Those are all things that we said in our group chat, and I was there like maybe like if anybody in this group chat got a chance to get an answer, it's probably me. So I like was posting the stuff that we were talking about, and so we got a lot of funny laughs out of it, and got some free beer out of it. So that was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. And then you also had NASA reach out. Did anyone reach out? Like, did Neil deGrasse Tyson reach out?
No, it was just some NASA group, and then Blue Moon reached out. I don't know why. Yeah, Blue Moon reached out, and then I got some free beer.
Hey, there you go.
But I gave it to my friends. I used the cooler though. That was about it. Yeah.
Because that was right before the whole Andrew Luck thing happened, where he retired correspondent, which we'll get on that later. I do have to ask one more thing about, I mean, as I said earlier, one of my favorite players because you're just so likable. Like you do all this stuff that's just like, dude, that's just funny as hell.
Appreciate it.
Like back in Indy, you used to always do the photobombing. I haven't watched a whole lot of Miami games. Do you still do that when Tua plays? Do you do that when the defense gets turnovers, or are you kind of off that now?
Yeah,
too old for it? You're like 28.
I know, but all the running down and then running back and then I haven't started it yet. How about we say that? I haven't started it yet. Okay. But I know in Indy, I used to do it in Indy. I mean, I was obviously there for 4 years, so yeah, I had to find somebody to keep myself busy on the sideline, and that was one of the ways.
Did Frank tell you to stop running when you took over in 2019, did Frank tell you like, hey man, like you can't do this. Like you gotta be ready to get on the field?
He said, I just better make sure I'm back in the huddle when we get the ball. And I was like, you know what? I'll probably be too tired if I ran back and forth. So I'll just stay here.
It makes sense. Didn't you pull a hamstring a couple times doing it?
No, but it got to the point where like when I was doing it in 2019, the defensive coaches would get a turnover and they would all look to me and just like tell me like, get out of my way so I can run. And even when I started playing, a couple times I actually did do it. Frank kind of was like, "Hey, hurry up." But for the most part, no, I did it a couple more times. But other than that, I was like, "No, I can't do that. I'm out of breath."
I mean, you got to be able to make sure you can scramble a little bit,
exactly.
all that kind of stuff. But I do have one more question about the tweets. How many times did you get drug tested that summer?
I got drug tested twice.
Twice?
Yeah, I passed every one of them though.
Well, I'd assume so. We didn't ever hear about Jacoby Brissett suspended for 4 games.
No, but I definitely got the whole like calls from I think I got a call from one of my teammates was like, "Bro, you got to be high right now." I'm like, "No, I'm actually not. like 10 o'clock in the middle of the day, and I just tweeted that I was taking a dump. But yeah, so we got that. I got that a couple times, and then I got drug tested.
See, just porcelain tweets. That's all
Yeah,
it is.
exactly.
From the porcelain throne. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's not as cool as Elon's, but hey.
Gets the job done. Anyway, so I do have a question. I want to go back to the trade. I want you to confirm the story for me. Is it true that you were traded before practice and Bill still made you go out there and practice?
Yeah. So I got traded. So I got text from like my advisor. I think we were practicing at like, I want to say like 12. And I remember him like texting me, like I looked at my phone and the timestamp was like, it was a little right before practice started, probably right as practice started. And I'm going through practice, and then I get to my phone, and it's just like my phone's flooded. And I'm like, damn, like I know they didn't they had no time to trade me like while I was at practice. It had to be before. But yeah, I went out to practice.
That's gotta suck.
It must have been right in the middle of practice or something, but it was definitely not right after practice because I got a call like as soon as I got to my phone, it was like, hey, you gotta get on this flight. It's in like 2 hours.
How do you even pack up your life in 2 hours?
Yeah, I told him I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to miss that flight because there's no way in hell I can get from Foxborough to Boston in like traffic, in like rush hour traffic, and then go home. So I was like, I'll just take the late red eye flight out of here.
Makes sense. I mean, like that was week 0. Like you were literally traded like right after the final preseason game.
Yeah.
And there you were told like you're gonna play this week more than likely. You're probably gonna end up playing. I mean, like, what was the hardest thing about this whole experience? Was it like the moving to Indianapolis? Was it trying to find a place to live? The playbook? Like what was it?
I would say the moving was definitely hard, just because it was obviously my first time being traded. I had no idea what to expect. I had no idea what I was doing. So that was hard. And then, really just getting acclimated. I wouldn't say until like closer to the end of the year, I kind of like was like, hey, I didn't have to use GPS to get to work anymore. I knew where the restaurants were. Like I knew what people on the team to talk to regarding like getting this done and that done and getting my body work done. So it took a while for me to get kind of like adjusted to it. And then it just got cold and it started snowing. Like, man, I don't have time to deal with it. That's when I hated the cold. I was like, I ain't got time to deal with this right now. And then
Thursday day off. And
we were losing. So it was like, man, this isn't fun.
And so I was going to that season. I mean, like everything that happened from the injuries to the roster and everything, it's just kind of like there's only so much you could ask for. And I thought you did a pretty good job based on what everything was presented. And so obviously behind your back, though, is Andrew Luck. And it's notorious that you guys kind of hated each other before for a little bit. I mean, what was the thing that finally settled the beef between you two?
I wouldn't say hated each other. We just had our differences. Because we didn't know each other. Yeah. Because when I got traded, Andrew was kind of in and out because he was dealing with things and like with his shoulder and stuff like that in rehab. So he was kind of in and out. And I'm just like, man, who the fuck is this guy? Like he just keeps going in and out. Like just stay away. Like, and then when he came back, it really wasn't any like one specific conversation. It was more so just like over time the wall kind of broke down between both of us. And then we kind of just like, damn, like I actually kind of like this guy. Like kind of like we're cool. Like, So then we just became friends and then just like hit it off ever since. And then, we just built on that relationship throughout the year and, even to this day.
Yeah. So like, how often do you talk to him?
We'll send like probably like once or twice every month. We'll like, either get on a call or a couple texts and stuff like that. And then, but for the most part, that's probably about the extent.
Does he have any idea how like every couple months someone like Andrew Luck's coming out of retirement or like maybe so-and-so is going to go after Andrew Luck?
He'll tell us he doesn't, but I think he secretly does. He does know. And I think he has like a social media account. I'm like 75% sure. I don't follow it obviously because I don't know what it is, but I'm pretty sure because he's a little too hip onto like some of the stuff that's said about him. And I'm like, it's no way in hell you'll find this information out. So it's somewhere around. I'm gonna find it one of these days.
Well, we gotta start the research. Let's start. Yeah. Andrew Luck has a burner out there. Everyone out there on the internet. Let's look for it. Let's find it.
I'll post it on my story, and then everybody will start following. Then he'll probably delete it for sure.
Well, then I'll start a new one. It'll be cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so I do want to talk about that night in Indianapolis when you know what I'm talking about. And there's this viral clip of you and Andrew talking where he tells like, hey man, like obviously everyone knows like I'm retiring. In your head, obviously, you got to be a little sad you're losing Luck, but there's got to be a part of you also you're like, dude, fuck yeah, I get to play again. But like,
Yeah.
so like, can you walk us through that emotional roller coaster?
Well, I knew before that week. Like, I think I knew.
Really?
Yeah, he told me like in the beginning of the week. I think because we played on what, a Friday or Saturday or something like that, whatever day we played on. So I already had news. So it was just more so just like me and him were like talking like throughout things, like just like because it just happened so fast. Like one day he just told me to pull me into the room. It was like, hey, like this gonna happen. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, hold on, what? Like, you think my face is like that on the field? You should have seen when I saw him in the room. I think I started crying because like I was like, damn, bro, we just got close. Like we just became like good friends. Like we like you said, that wall, like I said, that wall broke down. And so then ever since then, like so going throughout that weekend, then on the field, he like just came up to me and was like, hey, it's out. And then I was like, wait, what's out? And then all of a sudden I just hear people behind me go, Andrew, what the fuck? Like all this stuff. And I'm like, wait, they found out? I was like, how the hell did they find out? Like, so that was like when my face was like, wait, what? And like I just like I felt so bad for him just because I knew he didn't get to do it the way he really intended to do it. And he's one of those guys that deserves to like kind of go out the way he wanted to. And I just felt bad for him in that sense. And then, but yeah, then the sense of me like throughout the week was like, I was texting my friends. I was like, yeah, man, I'm starting this year. Like, they got nobody else behind me. I'm the guy. Like, but the thing is Andrew was like that to me. Like, he was like, bro, this is your show. It's your time. Like, to do what you've shown us that you're going to do, like, throughout training camp. Like, I mean, I'm happy. I'm excited for you. And that kind of like, once he like started talking to me about that, then I was just like, all right, yeah, you can go retire. Like, I'm not mad about that. I'm okay with it, you know?
Let him be happy. Let him play with the concrete. So that conversation then wasn't like him telling you. It was just like, hey man, like they all know. And that was such bullshit. All the fans like booing him on the field and such. It makes, but to be fair, the way I look at it is that's all they were all drunk, but obviously that's not an excuse. But I think they were all the people that's never actually been to a Colts game before.
Yeah, no question. And it was guys that it was definitely people that honestly just didn't know Andrew. You know what I mean? No. Like, if you know Andrew, you're like, whatever the reason may be, it's a legitimate reason why he won't, knowing that his course of how he got to where he was. And like, I mean, you guys just won comeback player of the year and all the work that he put into that nobody saw. It was like, he's got to be something deeper than what we can see. It's got to be something within him that's making him make this decision. And then just to see everybody like, just like boo him and stuff. I was like, I really wanted to go to the press conference. Like, just like, you guys are like pieces of shit at the end of the day. Like, it's terrible.
I remember I was working a concert that night. So I used to work at the Noblesville Amphitheater. And I remember I didn't have my phone on me. I was counting all the money up because I was doing like tickets or whatever. And then as I'm leaving to go to my car, my phone just starts to explode. All my friends are like, Andrew Luck's retiring. I'm like, bullshit, you guys are fucking with me. There's no way Andrew Luck's retiring from the NFL. And then I look at it, I'm like, oh my God, it's true. And it was just, that was like, as someone from Indy, that was definitely one of those moments you're like, where were you when like this happened? Exactly. And like a lot of people could think that too, because I mean, he was a generational player, but
and it was like, I remember one of my friends was like, that week they had their like fantasy draft and he texted me like, I think like 2 days after Andrew told me, and I hadn't told him that I was like going to be a guy, just because I was still trying to wrap my mind around it. And he was like, bro, tell Andrew I need him to ball out. I just drafted him with my first pick. Like, I need another comeback player of the year season. And I I mean, sure you want to go with Andrew? Like, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is out there. Like, Tom is out there. I was trying to give him like a hint. And then I didn't tell him though. So then after the game, when he didn't even text me like, bro, I'm happy for you. He was like, bro, what the fuck? Like, why didn't you tell me this? Like, I mean, I just suspense.
So I have one more question about this, because this is kind of revelation. Is how was he talking about it like at camp? Like, was he like kind of talking about it before, or was like that week he told you it was the first time you heard it?
No, not. I thought I was going to play probably the first 3 or 4 games, just because he was dealing with like an ankle injury or something like that.
Yeah, so you're already preparing to be the starter.
Yes, I was already preparing to be the starter anyways. I didn't know it was going to be the full season, because I thought he was going to come back at some point, just based on like how training camp was going. So I never really knew. And then it was getting closer to the season. I was like, damn, like, this guy's not practicing for real. Like, and then literally that next probably week or so, he came up to me and told me.
That's crazy. And so then obviously that whole season happens. You start off the year as a dark horse MVP candidate, get hurt, things just kind of don't go our way. And again, kind of that whole season, just a crazy roller coaster. And then the next year they bring in Phil Rivers. And I'm just kind of curious. So like when they bring in Phil, was it easier for you to adjust as becoming the backup again, based on like you already had that experience with Andrew? Like what was that like for you?
I think that was the tougher one. Just because of how the season before, when we, like you said, we started off hot. I mean, we're number one in the AFC. Like we're playing well, and then everybody gets hurt. Literally everybody, offense and defense. So it's like fuck, like well, we can't win for losing right now. So I was looking forward to like, going back out there, fresh start. Like like having, how most of these guys, like they get the consecutive years to show improvement.
Yeah.
And so I was looking forward to that. And then so when that one hurt worse just because of that. And then like it had nothing to do with Phil, it was all to do with me. But then when Phil got there, it was kind of like it was easy, honestly, because at the end of the day, you just become a professional. You know what I mean? It's not I didn't look at it, for some reason I didn't look at it as like it was like Phil versus me or anything like that. I was just like, you know what, it is what it is. I mean, I just continue to like go about my business. You know what I mean? I knew what type of player I was. I knew what I was capable of. So it made it easier for me. And then, when Phil got there, we like, and just seeing his competitive nature, like that just brought out mine even more, because I was like, it's no way in hell I'm gonna let this guy come in here and just like show me up. Even though I knew he was going to be the guy, I just wanted him to show like I'm no slouch, like, and I think I hope I, earned that respect for him, which I think I did.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think. I mean, you came in sometimes they took him out for short yardage. You came in. You're the alpha male. They needed a yard. They put in Jacoby Brissett.
Exactly. Right.
Exactly. And so I do have a question. So like, I feel like most people think Andrew and Phil are pretty different. I mean, obviously, like guys, I said earlier, Andrew loves concrete. Phil likes making kids. But I feel like they're also kind of similar in terms of like the way they talk, the way they operate. Can you kind of like what was the biggest similarities and what were like the kind of the biggest differences between the two?
I would say like, which people don't see more so out of Andrew from like a vocal standpoint, but their like competitive edge is very similar. Andrew's, in which both of them do, like Phil is gonna let you know, like, listen, we're about to like, he's not gonna curse, but he's gonna like, we're getting after you today. Like, you can't stop this guy. Like, I want to throw a touchdown here. He's that type of guy. Whereas Andrew is like, you're gonna see his competitive edge by him, like, you hitting him, he's picking you up as he's running down the field. And like, he's just like, come on, hurry up. Like, I'm about to do it again. I remember we were playing the Patriots and we're like trying to come back. It's like earlier in the season. And, we obviously lose the game, but we're like coming back and we score a touchdown. And like, we're starting our comeback. And Andrew like comes to the sideline. He's like foaming out of the mouth. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? And he's just like, and I'm like tapping him. I'm like, good job, Andrew. Good throw. Like, good drive. He goes, I want some more, Jacoby. I want some more of it. And I was like, relax, bro. The defense has to go out first. Like, but that's kind of similar to Phil. Like, Phil will throw a touchdown and he'll come to the sideline. It's gonna be like that all night. It's gonna be like that all night. And it's just like, so some of those things are very similar to each other.
I feel like they're a lot similar and different. I want to once again thank the sponsor of the show, Living.fit. It's that time of the year again, and Living.fit is your spot to help achieve all those New Year resolutions. Living.fit is a health and wellness company that will help you achieve all your goals, from building muscle, losing fat, and maybe trimming up that dad bod you've been accumulating over the years. Not only are there workout programs, we can help with your nutrition and build out your home gym. If you're a trainer looking to get certified in kettlebell or battle rope movements, we're the place to be. Make sure you go visit the website or download the app Living.fit today. Now back to the show. That kind of moves on to our next segment. That's kind of the general questions. I got some dumb, stupid ass questions that I got for you, and these are a little more basic. So you might have already answered, but who is like the loudest teammate that is quiet to like the public and media?
The loudest teammate, but quiet to the public?
Like you would never expect them to be loud and just like,
I would say probably Kenny Moore.
Kenny Moore,
like,
really?
Like on the field, like people don't realize how like Kenny talks. Like he talks a lot. He's very quiet. Like, I mean, I'm sure you follow the Colts, so everybody thinks Kenny's like a soft spoken, like quiet guy, but like Kenny will let you have it. If you get under his skin, he'll let you have it.
Okay. Have you ever considered making like your own barbecue restaurant and calling it Jacoby's Brisket?
No, but you don't understand how many messages I get of people like when I was playing, like this one town, like they had like a menu item that was called the Jacoby Brisket, like, and I'm like, what the, like, that's so far. I don't even understand how people can say my name like that. There's no K in it.
No, there's not. Do you like the nickname?
Hell no. Because then everybody's like, damn, Jacoby must be fat or something like that. I'm like, damn, that kind of makes me feel bad about myself.
See, I've never thought about it like that. I just always thought it was kind of like, there's people who are just stupid to say wrong names. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you still have your Bitcoin Bowl trophy?
Yeah, I do. I think it's broke though.
It's broke?
The trophy, yeah, I think I broke it.
What'd
I was in the movement process.
Oh.
Like it just in it. Like I think one of the movers broke it, but I do have the Bitcoin trophy.
How many Bitcoins that thing worth? Because I saw someone post the other day it was worth like $8.7 million or some shit.
Oh,
like
bullshit,
that.
not mine. Like and if it is, I'm about to go get that motherfucker a praise and then retire because from what that trophy broke a little too easy to be worth $8.7 million.
Dude, honestly, I saw that. I'm like, bullshit. How is there like a Bitcoin and a trophy? Isn't that supposed to all be like digital or whatever?
Yeah, I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it. I had to ask. So I know you weren't originally a football guy. You're a basketball guy. What made you become a football guy? Was it just the fact that I know you said you stopped growing before? Was that it, or was it also, or did you realize, oh, I'm a tank, I can throw a football fucking far?
It was definitely the like I'm 6'4" and like all these other guys are outgrowing me and playing the same position. That was it. And then I was like, you know what? Like I was watching. I'll never forget my high school coach was. I was in his office or something like that, and he was like showing me some of these guys in NFL with like type of money they were making. And then he was like, "Watch this workout," and it was like I forget who are the quarterbacks. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, he makes that much money? Like he's terrible." I was like, "I know I can do that and make probably half of that or half the money he's making." And ever since then, I kind of just rolled with it, and I was like, obviously, I've been fortunate to be around good players, and I was been able to like grow my skill set. But yeah.
Okay. What's it like to negotiate a contract? I know you've done negotiate other contracts. Like, what's that whole thing process?
It's fun, man. It's a lot of fun. I recommend at least every player should do it at least once. I've been fortunate to do it. I think it's my third contract. So 3 times. It's a lot of fun. It puts the business side and it puts like football in perspective when you have a lot of these conversations with the owners and the guys like in the GMs and the GM will tell you like, oh, it's not on me, it's the money guy on the team. It's like, gosh, like, all right, whatever the case may be. But I think it's very fun. It definitely like stretches like a different type of your brain. And I've gotten a lot of players like honestly to come up to me like, hey man, like I'm thinking about doing it. Like literally a player like last week asked me like about it, like the process and stuff like that. So I think it's very, very, I think every player should do it, honestly.
Okay. And I kind of forgot. I had this question earlier and I completely spaced it. What hit you more that the NFL is a business? Was it them bringing in Phil Rivers or is it being traded to Indianapolis in week 0?
Ooh. I would say the Phil Rivers.
Okay. See, that's a big J question from me. I got that inside of me a little bit sometimes,
Yeah, I think I would say the Phil Rivers. I mean, they were paying $40 million for our QB room.
It was like the most in the NFL.
Yeah, exactly.
It was nuts.
for me and Phil.
What's your favorite spot in Miami? Whether it be just like food, whatever.
See,
hang out, whatever.
Favorite spot. I mean, I'm from like an hour away from here, so I can easily just go back home to like.
Do you live at home?
One of my favorite. Say it again.
Do you live like? Do you
no,
travel?
I'm not pulling the Phil Rivers and drive an hour and a half to work. But I would say one of my favorite restaurants is Prime 112, a little steakhouse out here.
Okay.
That's pretty good. But like everybody that knows me knows I love Waffle House. So
really,
yeah. And I like for every like holiday, birthday, I go to Waffle House, and I literally picked the place that I live now because I live right behind a Waffle House.
What's your go-to?
All-Star Special.
All-Star Special, good choice.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Dude, God, that's got to be crazy if you're just sitting in a waffle. Like,
All
is
the
there
time.
is there a certain time limit where you'll go in? You're like, I'm gonna go in between these hours and not at these other hours because we all
Oh
know
no,
at
I don't
Waffle
care.
House.
I'll go in there whenever.
What's the wildest shit you've seen in a Waffle House?
I walked in a Waffle House in Indy, like probably like 2 o'clock, and everybody in that motherfucker was asleep. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, I gotta cook soon. Like, and but it got to the point where at the Waffle House that I went to in Indy, like whenever I would walk in, they knew my order. Like I knew probably like 5 different shifts. Like I walk in, they would know my order, and I'll just sit down and eat, and it'll be a good time.
They probably treated you just like a normal person too. It wasn't like they walked
Oh
in.
yeah. I
Yeah.
sat at the same booth, and like I was just like, it was cool. Like everybody knew me.
Okay. So as I said before this, so this is how it's going to work. So now for all those listening, we're going to triple box. This is my intern Harry. He's going to be part of us with a couple more episodes going forward, and as this new progression going forward. Jacoby, you're going to be part of this inaugural segment. This is where I let him ask one question. If you like the question, we get into another question. But if you don't like the question, you have to tell him you don't like the question, and then we wrap up the show. All
right.
All right.
Don't
So Harry, yeah, I hope he doesn't fuck it up either. This is big pressure. So Harry, here you go, man. First question.
So,
wait, how many questions do you have written? Let's see if we can get through all the
I've got a few bouncing around in my head.
All right.
You know, just keeping it nice and fun, nice and light. We're gonna start off with a real fun one. Who do you think is gonna win the NBA title this year? We were talking about basketball earlier. And I just want to know. I'm sure there's plenty of other people out there who are really itching to know.
The basketball. It's hard to not say the Lakers, but I think I'm gonna go Brooklyn this year.
Brooklyn.
Just because of the route that they went through last year. I would say Brooklyn.
You think Kyrie gets to play? I'm gonna sneak in.
I don't think he'll play this year.
I don't think he will either.
Ooh,
anyway,
yeah.
I don't think he'll take the vaccine, and I don't think they'll be lenient on the rules just because they already are so strict on it. You saw whatever guys are doing now, so he's definitely not gonna play this year.
Interesting off season coming. All right. Anyway, back to Harry. Oh, Jacoby. Yes. No. Good. Moving on.
Yeah, we're good. We're
moving
awesome.
on. Next question.
Yeah.
Next question.
So during your time in Indy, what was your favorite place to go out to, and where was your favorite place to travel in Indiana as a state? Like, would you go down to Bloomington? Would you go up to West Lafayette, to South Bend for Notre Dame, that kind of stuff? What you thinking?
Well, hell no to Bloomington and South Bend. Yeah, it ain't too many black folks up there, so kind of stayed away from those areas. But I really like. So we used to go out. We used to like go to what's the spot called? It's on Broad Ripple. Is that Broad
Brothers?
Ripple? It was like some like hookah lounge that we used to go to.
Oh, I know what you're talking. I can't think of the name, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Is it like Hava?
Yeah, something.
No, it's something like that. Whatever.
Like across the street from the Brew Burger, or something like that, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So we used to go there. We used to go there, and then we would just go to restaurants and stuff. I like go to restaurants, and I'll just hang out at restaurants and stuff like that until they closed. So we used to do that a lot.
All right, awesome.
That sounds like you liked it. Let's go on to a third. We're on stage three. We're stage three.
Going well so far. I'm pretty happy about this. So you've obviously played in the Northeast in Boston. You've played in the Midwest in Indianapolis, and now you're down in the Southeast in Florida. Which has been your favorite spot, like as a city, not as a team, but as a city to play in?
Ooh. My favorite city that I've played in, as far as those three, like home stadiums?
Home stadiums and just the general atmosphere of the entire town. Like, where did you feel the most welcomed and, loved by the fans?
Well, I was in Indy for 4 years. So it's hard for me not to say Indy just because I was there for 4 years. Foxborough and Indy kind of give me the same feel as far as it's very small. It's all kind of like centered around the football aspect of it. So I would say those two are close to first, and then Miami will be second as far as that. Yeah. Good question.
Yeah. I was just wondering what the biggest piece of advice Tom Brady gave to you when you were a rookie in Foxborough with him. And I mean, that was a stacked QB room. It was you, Tom, and Jimmy Garoppolo, who's a stud in and of himself. So what was the most important thing you learned from that experience?
I remember a funny story about that. So we were in training camp, and like the guys in the locker room would play like they would shoot into the garbage bins. And so one day he like saw me in there shooting. He pulled me to the side. He goes, "How many like mistakes did you do in practice?" And I was like, "I don't know, like 3 or 4. He goes, "Don't ever shoot another basketball until you don't fuck it up." And I was like, I literally like stopped and I was like, "Dude, I'm never playing any games in the locker room. Fuck the players. I'm standing in the locker room, like I'm standing over the meeting room, and I'm just getting my stuff right." But I would think that was it. It was more so from just like, hey, it's good to be with around the guys, but make sure you like kind of, your business comes first. And I think that was probably one of the best things he's ever told me.
That really sounds like Tom Brady.
Yeah, he said it in such a like loving, joking, like serious manner that I was like, you know what, you're right. I don't deserve to play with these guys.
That's why he's the GOAT. But I got to step in. That was a great inaugural segment. First off, I want to say you killed it. You killed it. I'm proud.
You definitely did.
There we go.
Proud. So I got to wrap up. We are running out of time. So with that said, man, Jacoby, I really appreciate it. It's in the middle of the season. We really appreciate you coming on. So for me, for Harry, for Jacoby, we're out. Peace. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around with me all the way to the end. I just want to once again thank the sponsor of the show, Living.Fit. If you're looking to better yourself, make sure you go to download the app or visit the website Living.Fit today.